Good morning. I'm Marcia Boyles. Welcome to Village in Motion. I'm delighted this morning to begin our first half of Village in Motion with Ha from Occupational Therapy, and you're actually over in Garden Ridge.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, we can talk. You said that you had worked to some extent over in outpatient rehab as well, so
Yes.
we can talk about both if need be. Ha, tell me, you've been here a little over a year, you said. Okay. Tell me the kinds of things that you would be interested in talking about this morning. You said modifications to apartments.
Yep, so part of being an outpatient, we do make home visits, we evaluate the home, trying to prolong independence. So
Now wait a minute, let's stop right there and let me ask you about that. This is for folks who have come out of Garden Ridge, and
it could be for folks who have come out of Garden Ridge, maybe they just discharged home and
Yes.
we need to just assess and see if the home is safe, what recommendations we can make to make it a little more safer for them. But also if you are living in independent living and you're realizing you're having difficulty with certain tasks that you need to do every day, we can come in and see how we can help there. Or
Okay,
if you
that's
see
good.
that something is, becoming a little more difficult, maybe from a physical therapy standpoint, if you were able to walk from your bedroom to the bathroom and now you're having a little more trouble, then that's when, physical therapy can come in. As far as occupational therapy, if you're having trouble getting dressed or showering, doing light house management tasks like preparing a meal, if you find those tasks a little more difficult, we can come in and take a look and see what's going on, whether that be adjusting the home, or if there's something that's bothering you, like maybe your wrist or your elbow, shoulder, something like that, then we can take a better look and see if we can help that way.
all right, now, and all those things are so important as we're aging. Are you part of home? Is OT part of home health?
Yes, so we do have a...
And so that would be, it would not just be for people who are who are homebound. Is that correct?
So home health would be considered homebound, so maybe getting out of the apartment to outpatient therapy is not recommended at that
so
time.
this is because, in other words, you have to qualify as homebound in order to get Medicare reimbursement for these services.
So it depends. So typically when people leave Garden Ridge or leave the hospital, they recommend home health, meaning, that person should only be leaving the apartment to doctor's appointments, and
Hairdresser.
right. But if they are able to get to outpatient, that's where we would see them in outpatient.
All right.
So,
but now you couldn't be looking at home issues from outpatient rehab.
No, so outpatient, I guess, in a way, is geared more towards like one aspect. Maybe your left hand is weaker than your right hand, so but you're able to walk to outpatient, so we'll work on activities
Not
and hand
necessarily
strengthening.
walk, but get there.
Yes, get there, however way, yes. Or maybe, you have a shoulder injury and you're able to get to outpatient, and we have certain equipment there that we can try and help with the
for physical
shoulder.
therapy.
Occupational therapy, we usually address upper extremities, so your arms. And then physical therapy, they kind of address the lower body, so like your leg strength,
I didn't know you
balance.
differentiated that way.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Not all the time though. Sometimes we overlap. So sometimes physical therapy.
Speech pathology does the head.
Yes. So they do swallowing and cognition, so memory type things like that. Yeah.
All right. One of the things that has come up with some folks is, for example, things like Parkinson's or low vision, making adaptations to the apartments. Would you be involved with that kind of thing from outpatient?
Yeah, so
or home. I mean, I'm talking about home health here.
So sometimes if, somebody comes to us for outpatient and we're working with them and we see maybe they would benefit from a visit in their apartment, then we would go meet them in their apartment. And for Parkinson's, a really familiar symptom is the shuffling gait. So we can take a look at the carpets, the rugs, see if there's anything that might be a tripping hazard, cords, things like that, and make recommendations like not cluttering the area, removing cords, any type of tripping hazard, increasing lighting, things like that. Yeah.
Okay. What about low vision? What would you suggest in that kind of situation?
So low vision, sometimes the contrast between colors. So like having something a little darker that they can with a lighter background, so that they can see it a little better. It may be the clarity is not there, but at least they can identify that something is there if they're looking for a particular item. Also, adding tread certain areas, that way they can know that with tread there might be a step involved or stuff like that.
And I would think lighting.
Yes, lighting as well. Yes.
Would also be important. Do you get involved with devices, for example, like magnifiers or anything of that sort?
We do have a role in that, so
you could help residents choose some devices.
I personally don't have experience with the magnifying stuff, but we can certainly look into it and see what helps with enlarging print, or just what devices are out there.
One of the things that I think a lot of folks are kind of confused about, including me, is where one gets rollators. Okay,
so rollators is, I guess, tough questions because Medicare doesn't cover rollators.
No.
But
can you help? I mean, does outpatient rehab help people purchase them?
From what I've experienced, physical therapy, they'll give you information on how to purchase a rollator. I think some people order them from Costco or
the trouble
online.
Is that some of them may or may not be put together.
Yes. So having either family, friend, I think general services might be able to assemble a rollator, but also if you're in outpatient PT and you purchase one, they can help adjust the height and take a look at it as well.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. When you purchase them, often you really do need them adjusted for height.
Yes.
And outpatient rehab will do that.
Yes, if you're currently under caseload, I believe. So
well,
typically,
what does everybody else do?
Typically, you've been seeing the physical therapist, and that's maybe something they had recommended as a assistive device to improve functional mobility. Right. So once you've purchased that, they can do it.
They can help.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. How many occupational therapists do we have at Greenspring?
So in Garden Ridge, you have 2 full-time and 1 part-time, and then in outpatient you'll have 1 part-time, and I believe home health has 1 full-time.
Okay, so like 5.
Yes.
Tell us what education you have. Is this a baccalaureate degree program? Is it a master's program? I know physical therapy now is a doctoral program.
So it is a master's program. Yep.
Okay. Define occupational therapy. Tell me how you define yourself.
So that's my favorite question because everybody wonders. Yes.
Yes, I think there's not clarity. Physical therapy, we all sort of know what they do, but occupational therapy, I think we don't know necessarily.
Yes, so occupations by definition is, things that are meaningful to you. So things
that are meaningful.
Yep, so things that you engage in every day, such as, activities of daily living, things that like getting dressed, getting in and out of the shower, doing light kitchen tasks, toileting, those kinds of things that you need to do every day as well. So occupational therapy, we make sure you can independently do those things and do them safely.
All right. I think I have always thought of occupational therapy as being art and music and things of that nature, dance. Is that part of occupational therapy?
I mean, we can incorporate those things into occupational therapy. So if we're working on, a balance activity, we can maybe incorporate some dancing. We kind of see where the need is, and we can incorporate art. If we're working on hands, fine motor skills, we can have you do some art with us. So it really depends on what you find meaningful and what you want to do, and then we kind of come in and we have different activities to address those needs.
All right, so so basically you design programs for people depending on their own interests and abilities and
the tricky thing is, occupations can be considered leisure type activities as well, but with Medicare they cover, basic kind of occupations, which is what I was talking about with getting dressed, showering, kitchen, home management, things like that, toileting, yeah.
Are occupational therapists involved with intermissions?
Define intermissions.
The intermissions program here at Greenspring?
I'm not aware.
You're not familiar with it? Okay. We won't even get into it. Okay, Ha, anything else that you would like to be talking about this morning? Do you see are you seeing any changes in, are you foreseeing any changes in the services that you're providing?
I think we will be working more in independent living eventually. Right now I work mostly in Garden Ridge, but I believe with time and how Medicare is shifting, we may be working a little more in home health.
Of course, it isn't just Medicare shifting, it's also our population aging in place. Okay. That would make a lot of sense. I mean, our population is getting older, and folks are coming in sometimes not in terribly good shape. So that would absolutely make sense. Anything else you'd like to say this morning? I see our time is coming to an end.
I think I'm good, unless you have any other questions for me.
No, I think that should do it.
Okay.
And this has been very helpful. We appreciate your coming this morning. This helps.